In 2002, when I was born on September the 5th, in the year of 2002. Meanwhile, in November 2002, and here we are, 40 years later, when Dr. No is the very first Bond film to be have, but now this is the 20th installment to the Bond saga. And let's start to the review. What up, y'all? Eric Creel, the Reviewer King, established 2002, and I'm here today to review the film Die Another Day. Let's get started. So, the plot, we have Mr. Bond who wants to find a way in Korea, and then suddenly happens this, they want to beat up the baddie. And then suddenly, when the general finds out to teach Mr. Bond a lesson for 14 months ago, which is just a year, when Mr. Bond, who once finally found out to what happened, when Mr. Bond, who wants to give freedom to Jinx, and then suddenly, and they want to talk to M, and then suddenly, when Mr. Bond, who wants to shave the mustache and the beard, and then suddenly, when Mr. Bond, who want to found out to fell in love with Jinx, and then suddenly, when Mr. Bond, who wants to take the case by defeating baddies, and then suddenly, when meet the new bad guy, one with a bald head, and then suddenly, when there's a new bad guy, one with the electric thing for hands. And then suddenly, when Bond and Jinx, who want to find a way to defeat the bad guy, one with a bald head, from the Icicle Mansion. And then suddenly, when Bond and Jinx, who want to defeat a final bad guy, one with the electric hand. And then soon as the melt array has been turned off, and they finally save the day while stop sacrificing. And then that's pretty much the film. And then finally, when Bond and Jinx fell in love all together. And that's it for the rest of the film. So, what have I heard of Die Another Day? Ah, yes, the most underrated Bond film to the finish, for the fourth and the final Pierce Brosnan Bond film to end. So the first time I watched that on Showtime On Demand, and it looks really awesome, and it's pure, very underrated. And yes, which I haven't noticed about the Pierce Brosnan Bond films, such as GoldenEye, Tomorrow Never Dies, and even The World Is Not Enough, which I might watch the three of those, and which I haven't noticed about Timothy Dalton Bond films. Like for choices, for examples, The Living Daylights and License to Kill, because I need to watch these two. And I also haven't noticed about Roger Moore Bond films, such as Live and Let Die, The Man with a Golden Gun, The Spy Who Loved Me, Moonraker, even For Your Eyes Only, Octo, something, I guess, and even A View to a Kill, which I might watch those, and even George Lazenby's Forgotten Actor called On Her Majesty's Secret Service, which I watched this, which I need to watch that. And even I haven't noticed for the first two finales of Sean Connery's Bond films, which was You Only Live Twice and even Diamonds Are Forever, which I need to watch those two, which has led up to No Time to Die for the next summer. And anyway, let's take a look at spy action scenes. They are super epic. The story, very cool and pretty underrated. The characters, we have James Bond, the main character. He's amazing, played by the legendary Pierce Brosnan. And then we have Jinx, which is the Bond new girl. She's underratedly, flawlessly amazing. She is one of the most underrated, flawless Bond girl I've ever had. Performed by the legendary Halle Berry, which is the same cast she played Cappy from Robots. And then we have the bad guy, one with a bald head. He is the most underrated intense I've ever had. He is Caillou done right. And then we have the final bad guy, one with the electric things for the electric suits for his hand. That's awesomely underrated. And he's looked like Killian from Spice in Disguise. And the rest of the characters look so awesome, including the theme from Die Another Day performed by Madonna. That is amazing and really flawless. If you're a fan of James Bond 007, I suggest you should watch the rest of the 24 films leading up to No Time to Die till the next summer. Do I have issues and negatives? Nope. It's the most underrated films I've ever had to watch on Showtime on demand for the first time in the early morning. So, I was the baby when it first came out. So, overall, it gets a 7 or 8 out of 10. It's the most underrated films I've ever had. So, thank you all for watching and goodbye.